Let's say that you live during the Ice Age and you don't have any physical dietary restrictions. In your cave neighborhood, there's an open public bridge. On the right side of the bridge is a lifetime worth of food. Cows, chickens, even apple trees that somehow survive the cold. On the other side, there's only rodents. But you've always lived on the left. All your life, you've only eaten rodents. You've come to believe that rats are the only food that can satisfy and sustain you. One day, cats start migrating in and they eat all the rodents, and you start to starve. The thing you depended on for sustenance is dying out, and you start to get nervous. So you check out the food on the other side of the bridge. And instead of noticing the cows and the apples, you say to yourself, "There's no rats over here. Whatever will I do?" Because you believe that only rats can satisfy your hunger, you starve to death. There was plenty of food, better food, to sustain you right in front of your nose, but your beliefs and poorly trained appetite led to your undoing. There's two lies that stop us from experiencing abundant life. One is that God and his treasures can't really satisfy us or fill us. And the second is that God can't really be trusted. A few days ago, some crows were circling my backyard looking for food. So I put some seeds out and they circled it squawking, but they wouldn't come down to eat. They didn't trust me. They thought that I would hurt them or maybe put them in a cage. And in this case, I really was just trying to feed them. There wasn't any other shoe that was going to drop. I wasn't going to demand payment from them. In both stories of the bridge and the crows, their wrong beliefs led them to not getting the food that they needed, either due to lies about themselves or wrong beliefs about the food offerer. Our wrong beliefs about God and what can satisfy us lead us to run after the wrong things and the wrong treasures. We invest in things that can't really satisfy. The Bible says, "My people have committed two sins. They have forsaken me, the spring of living water, and they have built cisterns for themselves, broken cisterns that cannot hold water." Don't invest in broken cisterns. Put your treasure with God and you will have it forever. You'll never lose a thing. If you were a caveman or a mammoth and you knew that your ecosystem was about to implode, what would you do? Would you be able to recognize the signs and adapt before it was too late? It might sound like a ridiculous question, but it's one that we are actually faced with. See, if you've spent your whole life filling needs by chasing more money or career or relationships, if you've become dependent on perishable things, your ecosystem is in danger. Your sustenance isn't going to last. You need to restore order, put things back in the rightful place. All of these things can be fine as appetizers, but not the main dish. I was watching a special on the Ice Age when Neanderthals and mammoths really did exist. And of course, there's much debate about how they actually went extinct, but one thing they said struck me. Whether or not this is what actually happened to the mammoth, it has been demonstrated for sure, at least in other ecosystems, that simply by introducing one new predator, food can become so scarce to go around that it can wipe out an entire population of another animal. Ecosystems are very delicate. If one piece is off, it infects the entire system. And in the same way, God's ecosystem works when he stays at the center of our life. When we spend our lifetime and energy on things that he says have real value. When we start feeding our appetites with things other than God, on things that this world has to offer that are perishable or superficial, the system begins to break down. You won't experience the fruit of the Spirit or the fullness that God intends for you. You'll get stress and anxiety because the things that you've invested the most in can be taken away. Just like the woolly mammoth, you cannot remove your main food source and expect to live. However, when you're getting your sustenance from God, when you invest in things where moth and rust can't destroy, you will find a whole new security. If anyone builds on this foundation using gold, silver, costly stones, wood, hay, or straw, their work will be shown for what it is, because the day will bring it to light. It will be revealed with fire, and the fire will test the quality of each person's work. If what has been built survives, the builder will receive a reward. But if the work has been burnt up, the builder will suffer great loss. The builder will be saved, but like one barely escaping through a wall of flames. 1 Corinthians 3:12. The author lists two different types of building materials. What is the difference between gold, silver, costly stones? The difference is their flammability. The first group can survive the fire. The second group would be quickly burnt up. What materials are you using to build your life with? Are you working for things that will last? If you're not, can you recognize it and adapt? Or will you just continue down the current path and starve to death while the feast sits right on the other side of the bridge? Let me know in the comments what you think are some of the main ways that we get distracted from the most important things, and what are some solutions that have been helpful for you to keep your priorities straight. This is Lisa Lee Walt with Fire Life Ministries. Please click below to subscribe, and I hope you guys all have a blessed week.